Good day, my friends. Froggy here, and welcome to June's 2017 Do You Got What It Takes Cannonball Ride. Mapped out is the 1,000-mile, not kilometer, 2-day Vancouver coastal endurance ride. Buddy Steve and I decided we got what it takes. Cannonball Rides is not a race. It's about fun, endurance, adventure, with mapped routes across Canada for anyone can register and join in. Assisting David Purdyman Purdy in getting Vancouver coastal routes on the map has been an added bonus venture, to say the least, for me. Here's our journey. This is our start and end checkpoint. Maple Ridge Motorsports, I recommended. Turns out they would be a poor choice. With my 3 attempts in previous months, excepting a bought promotional kit, they did nothing. My final attempt was today, a poster to post on the window. I'm going to make sure they get a poster. On the wall. There we go. Cannonball Rides. Hey, do you have what it takes? It was time to get our shit together, take some selfies, and document some tidbits as proof. They did put the poster up at the end of the friggin' door. We suspected it would last about as long as we were there. I take it they didn't want to ruin their storefront decor.
You have your GoPro going?
What time is it?
It is,
oh, hang on.
Yeah.
8:49. So we're okay.
Perfect.
It is 8:49. We're all right. We're good to go.
Oh, is that thing going?
Yeah.
Oh, shit. Just ignore the stuff that the other guy said.
I don't think it's quite. Documenting odometer and trip counters, 78,101 kilometers on my O2 VTX 1800. Trip A I use for fuel mileage, and Trip B for total trip, set to 0.
Yeah. Get the hell out of Dodge here.
Get the hell out of this
I hope
fucking
we
city.
don't get too much traffic on the way up to Whistler.
This will be okay. Our next checkpoint is Trev Dealey Motorcycles in Burnaby, just 40 kilometers, 30 minutes away. There are 3 checkpoints in the lower mainland, Mountain View Harley Davidson and Chilliwack. Depending on place of residence, makes for great start and end point options. Trev Dealey's. Huh?
How's that for fast?
That was all right.
Fucking
Try
here in record time. Go on. 16 minutes after 9. What time did you say it was at Maple Ridge?
Oh fuck, I can't remember. Trev Dealey was a far cry surprise after Maple Ridge. They had welcome posters, a table set up with cards, brochures, and maps of the 500 and 1,000 mile routes. Along with free coffee around the corner, I gotta say Trev Dealey went all out, and a definite thumbs up to them. 9:25. We're just leaving Trev Dealey. Heading off. Our next stop will be Pemberton for gas. You know you're getting out of the big smoke heading up Howe Sound. Howe Sound runs 42 kilometers northwest to its head at Squamish, viewing several islands along the way. In 1792, Captain George Vancouver entered the sound and named it after Admiral Earl Howe. Just south of Squamish is Britannia Beach and Creek. Copper was discovered in the mountains in 1888. They started mining copper in 1905 and became the largest copper mine in the British Empire. The mine closed in 1974 and has since become the National Britannia Mine Museum. Our first gas stop, Pemberton. I have a 220 kilometer max rule per tank. This will take us easily to Cache Creek, 185 kilometers onward. And it is 11:20. That's not bad. I have to piss like a racehorse. Or worse.
Hey, see those girls?
Hey?
Did you see those girls?
What girls?
On the side of the road there?
Oh.
When I went like this, just a little while ago.
Oh, yeah, I never,
Fuck me, the car pulled over, right?
Yeah.
And the two girls get out, and I'm watching the passenger girl because she's wearing spandex and she was hot, right? So I'm watching her, and we're coming around the corner like.
Yeah.
And then nothing happened.
Yeah, shit. I was playing Steve a bit. Of course I seen the two girls stop for a roadside nature call. Steve stopped yapping, noticing the camera not to incriminate himself further for distracted riding. Hee hee. After leaving Pemberton, we ride through Mount Currie Reserve, sighting a black bear before hitting the headwaters of Lillooet Lake. In a few kilometers, we veer northwest, heading up Highway 99's Duffy Lake Road and the beginning of Cayush Pass. The uphill trek is filled with tight curves and a few switchbacks for about 4 kilometers. Once you cross the bridge at Cayush Creek No. 1, you know you're near the summit of the pass. At the summit, it opens up, viewing low-lying valleys, mountainsides, and still snow-capped peaks. We had a harsher than normal winter this year, a winter not seen in 10 years. For mid-June, it was a little nipplage, but not nipplage enough to plug in. The pass ends at the head of Duffy Lake, but the Cayush Range covers an area about 3,770 square kilometers, or 1,455 square miles from Pemberton Mount Currie to Lillooet. Just before Joffre Lakes Provincial Park, 3 glacier-fed lakes popular for hiking and camping, we catch up to a group of 4 bikers. This was the same group that we waved to back at the Husky station, where Steve made a comment saying they're probably doing the Cannonball ride. We would find out shortly. He was right. As we cruise around Duffy Lake, the views are awesome even on this overcast day. The lake's inflow and outflow is Cayush Creek. Following the creek is at its best after Duffy Lake on the descent down towards Lillooet. Nearing the end of the lake, we pass by a small avalanche cleared from earlier this year. A rather cool sight to see with bits of mountain debris mixed in. We ran into some signs, road construction, seal coating, loose gravel, and flag persons. I figured no serious construction was going on over the weekend, but they did have a stop. A wait for pilot trucks to follow through a one-way travel. We would have a short delay of about 15 to 20 minutes.
That's the way we figured it was backwards too, but
Yeah, well, this is.
everybody
this is,
said you guys are going backwards.
No, this is.
Who
not
said
backwards.
no?
Doesn't
Well, you
matter.
can do it that way, but I don't like coming back through Squamish.
Exactly right. I don't like coming back to the Duffy after I'm already tired.
Yeah.
Yeah. I wonder if you guys are doing the Cannonball.
Yeah.
You're doing the 500 or the 1,000?
500.
No, we're doing 1,000.
Yeah, we got another one to do tomorrow. So.
Oh, do you?
Yeah. Oh, hi. Hi, Steve.
What was your name again?
Oh, I'm Joker.
Joker?
Yeah. Frog Dog, nice to meet you, bud.
It was an awesome gathering, meeting 4 Guardians of the Children with 2 members from Puget Sound, Washington, and a friend from Vancouver. Another showed up doing the 500, riding the Red Ultra Classic from Mountain View Harley-Davidson in Chilliwack. We also met a nice young lady riding solo, doing a holiday trip from San Diego, California. Of course, we had to have photos. It was time to trundle on. It would be a slow go for a few kilometers with following the pilot truck for at least 20 minutes. I've ridden this route many times in both directions. Even though on a Cannonball ride, the improvements are needed and welcome. We still had 140 kilometers to Cache Creek, our next gas stop. Mother Nature decided to shed some tears. The others pulled over, maybe for rain gear. Steve and I needed to throttle on. Luckily, the tears were spotty and not for long. I'm going to give my lips a break with some scenes down the east slopes and gorges of our coastal mountain range as they slowly transition towards the southern interior. Passing by downtown Lillooet, we cross over the Fraser River. After the bridge is Junction Highway 12, turning right to Linton and Spence's Bridge. Left is continuing on Highway 99. Looking ahead, you can see we will be heading into a few more of Mother Nature's tears. We decided to stop for a 5-minute break.
I need to light a smoke. What's that? I said I needed to light a smoke. That was a nice little get up and fuck off out of the rain, eh? Right when they pulled over. I know, yeah. 2 seconds later, stop right. Fuck, I gotta dry my pants, and they did too. Fuck.
A look back at the town of Lillooet and the valley we just came through. On the west coast, we have what we call the Duffy Lake Loop Ride, and so far been a part of. There are 2 routes, the short 590 kilometer and the long 700 kilometer. With the Cannonball 500, however, I needed to extend this loop from Cache Creek, taking 97C around Logan Lake to Highway 8, following the Nicola River to Spence's Bridge, then Fraser Canyon and home. This loop is 820 kilometers, 510 miles. It is an absolutely great route to ride. The section we're riding through is Fountain Valley along the Fraser River. This portion was hit by a mudslide, and needless to say, muddy. I take it all the sweepers were up at Duffy Lake. It's a good thing there wasn't a lot of traffic, as the few of us were turtling through it.
How far is it from?
How far is... I know the fucking mud, eh? Look.
That's something.
That's from that one spot, I bet.
The mudslide.
Yeah. Well...
Oh, I'm looking forward to food already.
You getting hungry? How far is it to Vernon from here?
I don't think it's well, Kamloops 100K. Vernon's what? An hour and a half?
We've gone 388 so far.
That's it?
Yeah.
Okay, let's go.
I gotta have a piss. What time is it now? It is Cache Creek 2:34. We're filled.
Wow, we're driving like old men.
Okay, help.
Beautiful scenery though, eh?
Yeah. Well, you know what? The weather hasn't been all that fucking. Forgot to ask him where the other guys were. Yeah, he was the only guy from Chilliwack.
Oh, okay.
Because he said he was at Mountain View.
Oh, okay.
And I said, because I guess they opened at 8 or something.
Yeah,
Or he left at 8, and he said as long as they'll honor his 8 o'clock as long as he's back by 8.
Right, okay.
Our next checkpoint is Vernon, 197 kilometers. We now follow the Thompson River, passing by Savona on the west end of Kamloops Lake. Kamloops Lake is 29 kilometers long, with the city of Kamloops at the east or head end, and the confluence of the North and South Thompson Rivers. I find no matter which way I travel the lakeside, the view is always better going down either cut from the summit. We will make good time, and just past the outskirts of town, we top up before taking the Highway 97 exit. Leaving Highway 1 onto 97, we pass by Monty Lake 17 kilometers in. A recreational community, and its 3.5 kilometer long lake was a nice ride. The landscape opens up into the heart of Carter Valley, a community of Westwood, a farming community dominated by turf farms. It is also home to the famous Route 97 diner with antique autos and its 50s-60s style decor. Now I have to mention Falkland. You know you're getting close. They have one of the biggest Canadian flags up on Gip Mountain and can be seen a few kilometers away. If you're on a leisure tour, it's a must-stop for growlies and/or a walkabout. There is the great cafe, eatery, and of course the Falkland pub, my usual stop. Great atmosphere, good food, service, and people. You'll be hard-pressed not to see a couple of bikes, or 20, out front. Thank fucking Christ. I need a smoke. So I've been thinking about it for the last fucking 40 kilometers.
That means you earned it.
That means I earned it, yeah. Vernon Motorsports. There we are. We got her. What time is it? I don't know if you can see that, but it says 4:42.
I anticipated. My thoughts were that if you left here at 5 p.m., we'd be in Nelson at a reasonable hour.
Like, what's reasonable?
What's that?
Depends on the weather.
Well, I don't really care myself, but
We'll see.
I'm going to get a card, I guess.
We went in and grabbed a card and introduced ourselves. In chat with the promotions girl, I asked how many registered here. She said 22 riders. I said, dang, awesome turnout, good job. Spending about 15 minutes here, we still needed to fuel up. also snack up. We fueled at a Chevron, but snacked at a 7-Eleven, me with a smoky, Steve having a hoagie. It's about 5:30 and needed to catch Highway 6 to Nelson, another 340 kilometers. In Google time, that's about 5 hours. Vernon is in the North Okanagan region. Traveling to Nelson, we head into the Kootenays, the southeastern corner of the province. Nelson will be the furthest town traveled before heading home. It will also be the last checkpoint for the night.
First on, first off. There's fucking 5 cars. Who gives a shit? Hey! I want to go on first. Fuck! What's that fucking tractor trailer in front of me? What the fuck is up with that? We can take care of that right now and just right in front of them, but yeah, fuck it. Now, I don't know about you, Froggy, but at this point in my life, of all the roads I've been on in Europe and everywhere else, I swear to fuck that highway from Lumby to here was my most favorite.
It's a nice road.
Isn't that amazing? Just the views and the shit going on. Sorry about that back there. As we're going up that hill, there was brown shit in the road, and I thought it was oil, and I thought I felt my bike move.
No, I wasn't worried about that.
Because then I looked at my mirror and I saw, fuck, you come up on me because I was over here, right? Sorry about that.
Oh, we're going around the corner.
Yeah.
Yeah, I was wondering why you slowed down. I didn't.
I thought there was oil in the road there because it looks like right up the middle somebody was losing something. Anyway.
Yeah, no, I didn't.
I forgot to mention. You know the Indian Reserve just past Pemberton? What's that fucking that we go through?
Yeah.
What the fuck's it called?
Oh, there's the ferry. Kerry.
Yeah, Mount Curry. As we come around the corner, you remember me doing that?
Yeah.
There's a fucking bear in the ditch. You saw it, eh?
I did.
I couldn't believe it. I was like, and his head was down, so he was munching or fishing, or I don't know what the fuck he was doing. I'm not familiar with this route, so I wouldn't know which way. You don't have the GPS? I have the
810. It's 810, and we're at the ferry.
So we just drive
I don't think it's a first on, first off scenario, though.
And it's just a 5-minute bus.
The Needles Ferry takes us over the lower Arrow Lake to Fauquier and is not a time waster for the Cannonball ride. It runs every 30 minutes, on the hour and half hour from Fauquier, the 15 and 45 from Needles with operation time 5 a.m. to 10 p.m. The ferry is cable driven and there's been a crossing here since 1913. This service is managed by the Ministry of Transportation and Infrastructure. There's 13 other routes crossing lakes and rivers within the interior, operated by private contractors. They are free to ride. After leaving the ferry at Farquhar, we ride 60 kilometers to Nakusp, following the Upper Arrow Lake. The lakes are divided into two, Upper and Lower, and are the widenings of the Columbia River running from the north at Revelstoke, south to Castlegar. The two lakes combined are 230 kilometers and are situated between the Selkirk Mountains east side, the side we ride, and the Monashee Mountains west side. Originally, pre-1960s, they were separated by a narrows of the Columbia River for 22 kilometers. The construction of Hydro's Kensley Side Dam raised the water up by 12 meters. They became one large reservoir. Entering Nakusp, I pulled up beside Steve, mentioning fuel. We took a stroll down the main drag for a look-see, doubled back, ending up at Anderson's fuel station.
Well, I think we're doing pretty good. What time? 8 o'clock?
We're in Nakusp. Nakusp. And it is 8:08. We just filled up too, so we are going to head to Nelson. Another 150 kilometers yet.
So we'll be there by 9:30. You know what? That's not bad.
Might just say fuck it and just go home.
You know, that's not bad because I thought we'd hit it at 9. You remember me saying that earlier today? Thought we'd hit it at 9 o'clock tonight, or I was hoping to hit it by 9, right? So that's pretty good.
Okay, got the clears. See you in Nelson. We had 784 kilometers so far to Nakusp.
Getting into Nelson, Mother Nature was slowly turning down her lights. We did make one little zig off the GPS, a left turn that should have zagged up one block. Steve's GPS did a good job guiding us through town, straight to Main Jet Motorsports.
Hey, I don't know if you can see me, but this is Main Jet. Another one of the stops. How is it?
So I guess we have to go get gas then, right?
Gas in the morning.
That's true, yeah.
It's 10 o'clock. It's 9:56. We hit Main Jack PM. Of course they're closed, but they're closed tomorrow morning too, so.
And Monday.
Oh, and Monday. But we ain't be here Monday.
We were a little later than expected, but there was a lot of construction zones from Silverton to Slocan. Lucky for us, there was the North Shore Inn right across the street with rooms available at $85 a night. We got separate rooms, ordered in growlies, then let the Sandman put our eyes to rest. I'm going to end this day with part 1 of 2. A destination goal we reached hitting Nelson, being just over halfway. Our 13-hour ride had a few hiccups, always to be expected, but awesome all the same. See you tomorrow. Thanks for watching part 1.